Hi guys, welcome in, everyone. I know y'all wonder where I've been, and I'm sorry. Um, Life happens, and I had to take care of some things on last night, yesterday, and it caused me not to be able to go live. Um, I am a little tired, but I'm here. I want to come on here, and I want to give you guys an update on Victoria Rose. I just recently saw an update on Victoria Rose that I found out on yesterday, but I didn't have a chance to even put it out. So I want to come on here and give you guys this information. I'm not going to hold you guys long, maybe 30 minutes, and then I'm going to get on out of here. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button as you come in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button as you come in. Um, we're going to get into it in just a moment. Wait a few minutes for these people to come into the building. Hey, ASL interpreter, how are you? And hey, Patricia, how are you today? Um, I just want to come on here and let you guys know. I know you guys here to watch. I'm sorry. Um, I am watching. So um, I just want to come on here and I want to come on here and give you guys an update on Victoria Rose. On yesterday, we did get a breakthrough. The family did get a breakthrough. Um, I'm gonna wait a moment, and then I'm gonna tell you guys how everyone's weekend. How is everyone's been today? Hope everybody's having a decent weekend, having a pretty decent weekend. Um, my weekend's been pretty well, so just just a little tired, but I'm just gonna come. I'm just gonna go ahead and um, let you guys know what's going on. Victoria, the judge has ordered for Victoria Rose's body to to be with she's going her mother and her family will be able to get her body. The judge ruled on yesterday that Victoria Rose's family can get her body. So she'll be able to get a proper burial. Victoria Rose's body will be released to her mother, her biological mother, and family. And God is so good. I'm glad that it laid on the judge's heart to um, let Victoria Rose be buried properly. So I just was so excited about. I couldn't wait to tell you guys. Um, so I just couldn't wait to tell you guys about. She will be able to. She'll be able to be laid to rest properly. Um, it says here that um, I don't know. It doesn't say here when is her when is her burial, but I do know who. I just looked at it and I just found out who has her body, and I am so glad that Victoria Rose will be able to be laid to rest properly. No one deserves to not have a proper burial, and no mother should not be able to be denied the right to say her last goodbye to her child. So I'm so excited about that. I hope and pray that the mother be able to be reunited with the two little surviving boys. I hope and pray that the mother will be able to be reunited with the two little boys, because I know they'll be able to come too, because I know right now they have them in foster care, but I pray that the the judge will just they'll have some kind of leniency on the mother and allow her to get her two other children back. Like, this whole situation has been sad, and I just feel like the mother had, even, you know what I'm saying, the DHS, they failed the mother, they failed Victoria Rose, And it's only right to right this wrong by, hey Angie, how are you? How are you, Angie? The only way to right this wrong is to give this mother her children. And that's not only to me, this is my personal opinion. Not only help her to, if she's going through something right now, help her get on her feet. And then allow her to be reunited with her boys. Because as we know right now, guys, as we know right now, the boys are not reunited with their mother. They're still in foster care. And I just feel like they should give her the right to to be with her children, and you know giving Victoria back to her mother and letting her be properly laid to rest. That's one step in correcting a wrong. And it just, everybody has a right to their own opinion. This is my opinion. So I feel as though Victoria needs to be is going to be laid properly to rest. Everyone will be able to say their goodbyes. And hey, Chef Disaster, how are you? How are you today? And I hope and pray that the little boys, her brothers, will be able to um, get their life back with their mother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chef Disaster, for hitting that like button. It just hurts my heart to know any child has lost their life to child abuse. No child, and I'll say this and over again, no child uh, should ever be in a place where they're abused, physically, emotionally, none of that. Um, so I would really love it if the DHS services um, will give the mother the opportunity to get her boys back. I really do wish that DHS in that state would be able to give the mother a chance to get her two boys back. The other kids are um, still in foster care, and I just feel like DHS should give her the opportunity to get her kids back. And the crazy part about it, when, no matter what, how they say or how they do, just because she smoked weed, that was the reason, and she was in an abusive relationship and things like that. Yeah, children need to be with their family, and I hate that DHS railroaded her. They couldn't give her an opportunity. Like, she did everything that, from what she was saying in the interview, she said she did everything they asked of her, and she and they still said that she needs to sign her rights over because it's best for the kid. But being with you reunited with the mother will be the best thing for her two boys right now. Being reunited with the mother is the best thing right now for those two little boys that's in foster care right now. Um, so yes, Victoria's other two brothers are still in foster care. Y'all, this is my little girl Jayla. Um, Stop. And uh, she's still in foster care right now. They're still in foster care, and they are not with the other two brothers. Um, Ariel's other two, because Ariel's kids are with her mother, and the other two boys were put back in foster care. Well, I'm looking at it this way: reunite them back with their mom. Give her the opportunity to get her kids back. Give her the opportunity to get her kids back. I don't understand why they didn't. I guess they, what I'm saying. I know it's protocols and stuff like that you have to go through, but I just feel that lady deserves the Victoria's mother, Casey. Her name is Casey. Um, Deserves Stop. Uh, Victoria's mother Casey deserves to be reunited with her children and an opportunity to get her rights back to her children. So that's my opinion on that, guys. I just want to come on here. No, Joe, stop. I just want to come on here and tell you guys.
It's Valentine's Day.
I'm about to kick you off this live. But I just want to come on here and tell you guys that Victoria Rose's body is being relinquished back to the judge did order for her body to be relinquished back to the mom. And I am just to the family, and I am so glad about that.
Family.
Welcome in, Chef Disaster. Thank you for coming. What do you have to say?
I'm not saying nothing.
Hold on, we don't hear it. Hold on. Chef Disaster, can I hear you? Hello? Oh. Chef Disaster, you are in the live, but you are muted.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Peace and love, spread love night.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Trying to warm up. It's real cold up here in New York, man. It's really, really cold.
I know. It's a little chilly down here in Mississippi, but it ain't all that cold. It's
yeah. All right. So, how you doing, little one? How you doing? I don't know the specifics of the case, but I'm gonna just say, anytime you remove children from their family, it causes there's an effect. So it gives them a everlasting trauma, and sometimes a irreparable trauma. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like that. That's that maternal bond. You take the kids away from their parents. You take the parents away from the children. Both parties involved, experience some sort of trauma. Now, depending on the situation, like you said, if there was no bad abuse and stuff like neglect, then I think they should definitely give her the opportunity to get her kids back, and even if they got to do it step by step. But my thing is, the longer the kids are away from their parent, the more irreversible the effects of being taken away from the family is.
Yes, and I believe that as well. Like, because of the fact that those boys are still traumatized. Because think about it: if Victoria Rose was being abused, you don't think the little boys was being abused?
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So reunite them with their mom or their dad or someone in the family, and I feel like this allow the mother the right, give her the opportunity to come through and reunite with the kids. If she doesn't do her part, then that's on her. But you guys are giving her the opportunity. Because this lady lost her child, and you can't replace a life.
Right, Monica. Absolutely. And I think it's important for her to get the kids back, because the confidence, like what we don't know is going to come on later on in life is a confidence issue. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even trust issues as well. So if they allow her back into the children's life and the children's back into her, that'll start to help heal and repair those type of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's very important that they take those steps, because what the kid's already been through is already irreversible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
like, and that's the crazy part about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They should take that into consideration. The fact that, okay, Victoria Rose. But why would it just? That's what I don't understand. Why would it always? Why and Christine just put in the chat. I'm not sure if they heard the boys. It seemed it was all directed to Victoria Rose. But why would it just all be directed at Victoria Rose? What did Victoria Rose do so wrong? What did Victoria Rose do to cause blunt force trauma to her head? That's the question. Like, as I was saying, they were saying that this is they want Ariel wanted a little girl, and for her to just be at the little girl, I still have questions about that.
Mama.
Unless it's something that we do not know that hasn't came out yet.
Yeah, but definitely. There's always something underlying. People trying to protect. Initially, it's always going to be like some sort of damage control when it really shouldn't be. Everything should be out in the open and exposed for the sake of the children. But adults always hold things back, whether it's drugs. Maybe they've been doing drugs. Maybe they have a certain type of company around that they're not supposed to have around. Whatever it is, it needs to be. It needs to be right on the forefront. It needs to be spoken about because, like you said, for her to just beat at the children, I mean the girl, and not the boys, if I'm correct, that's kind of fishy.
Mm-hmm. And that's the crazy thing. That's what boggles my mind. Like, only what people would know the truth is the little boys. What happened and what was going on in the home. The little, and you know what I'm saying? They young, so I know it's. Yes, you can. Go do it.
I'm gonna put my shoes on.
Okay.
Before we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Be a big girl.
I know how to put my shoes on.
Okay.
At school.
Okay. Yeah, y'all. Jayla has exited the building. Christine said, "Hey, Jayla." She said, "Okay." She said she'll be back.
Who's Christine?
All right.
A
Jayla,
boy?
it's a girl.
Oh.
Anyway, Chef, this says, I'm sorry. Yes, that what boggles my mind is if people said this is out of her character, then what is it? It's only the kids will know. The oldest will know. And then since those young boys are so young, it'll be hard to just talk to them because their sister is gone. They ain't gonna understand how to process all this.
I agree.
When that's what it is with trauma. When kids are traumatized, when they're young and they have trauma, they don't know how to process trauma. They don't. And so I'm gonna see how this pans out. I'm gonna see how this comes out and how this works out. I'm just glad I'm just happy that Victoria Rose's body is with the biological family and she's able to get a proper burial because they had the plot and everything and people just wanted to just help the mother. And I feel like DHS, they have every reason to give this mother an opportunity to get her boys back. Because she may be afraid that it's going to happen to them. You don't. And I hate to feel that way, and I hate to be that way, but this is where reality is. Everybody is not going being foster parents to change a child's life. Some people are just being foster parents for the money.
Right.
And that's the reality of it all.
Right.
And I don't understand how. This is my question is too. I don't understand why they did a GoFundMe, $25,000. I think she tried to raise She raised $25,000 to adopt these kids and get their last name changed. They was in the process of getting their last name changed. I know that they were fully adopted, but the last name change. The last name change was still a hold up or something. My thing is, why would you raise so much money? Because what they're basically saying, and I've been in groups and stuff like that, they were saying she was a racist. They said that she was all Black Lives Matter, and someone posted a picture of her profile picture of a white person and this and that, and I'm like, it can't be if she knew what she was getting when she was getting it. So she was getting Victoria Rose, and she was a little white girl. So how would this be racist? Her is you saying that she killed this little girl because she's a white girl?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. I mean, people are wicked. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that that's what happened, but if that's the case, Lord, take that child's soul for real, right up under your wing and
Mm-hmm.
nurture her. Word. But you see, I maybe, all right. So it could. I'm not saying that this is what happened. I don't know the backstory, but it's definitely something to hide. Maybe the boys did it. Maybe they were playing horse. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the story, but I'm saying it might not have been her.
Right. They could have been
That's what I'm
pretending
saying.
divorce. Right.
Right.
And
So
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so um I can see her, trying to protect the boys because now it's going to be two tragic losses or whatever's trying to be protected. If it's the boys, it's going to be tragic because now they're going to be evaluated all their life off of that, and you lose the child, the victim actually loses his life, and it probably what I'm saying, was an accident. If it was the boys, what I mean, or a boyfriend, that's a different story. Like I said, like it seems to me like she wouldn't go through all that trouble to murder the child on purpose, to be a racist, basically touching on what you're saying. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the crime. Sometimes you gotta look at the logistics of the crime. Like what
Right.
type of crime is it? You know what I mean? You go through all that trouble just to murder a child. I don't see that.
Right.
Like you
I
said,
know. That's what I'm not processing. I'm like, you put yourself through this rigorous journey of being an adopted parent. Because let me tell you, they do background checks and they do this and they do that. They have to make sure your home is at a standard to where you're able to put these children in your home. And and I don't get it. You put yourself through this to go to jail, or you, yeah, she could be covering up. Cause boys, I'm gonna be honest. If you're cause I have a little boy, and boys can be a little rough. Little boys can be
hmm
rough, and you know what I'm saying. Like my little boy, he done be playing with my little girl. He done probably done punch, not punch her, but like accidentally hit her in the head or something. Turning flips and they playing and they accidentally fall or something like that. But if it's an accident, say it is an accident. Don't cover it up because that makes
she
you
probably did.
more guilty.
She probably did. You probably don't get the whole story from the kids. That's number one.
Right.
The kids aren't going to tell you, even if they know exactly what happened. Sometimes they have a hard time processing the information to tell you back what happened, because
Mm-hmm.
people always tell. Grown adults always will tell you like, "Yo, what happened? What happened?" And their response will be, "It happened so fast, I couldn't see it." And that's a fully adult brain processing information that it sees. A
Mm-hmm.
child it doesn't have that ability until age 27 to fully process what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably couldn't even tell her what going. She probably got a story like, what I'm saying, where it hit her heart like, oh man, this is a bad accident, and there's no way I'm gonna let these kids. I'm gonna try to save the kids. You know what I'm saying, from going through. Because trust me, if it turns out to be one of the kids that she's protecting, those kids are institutionalized for a very long while.
Wow. 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 Sit down.
Just
Wow.
just
Right.
just think about it. Going to school, they they're gonna be probably under a strict eye, maybe home tutoring. You're gonna have to watch them, and they can't have a regular life anymore.
No, and that's the And that's the crazy part about it. Like, as a mother, you going to try to protect your children if this is the case. Stop it, Joe. Um, and you know what's going to actually come out is the truth. The truth is going to actually have to come out. Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
because if not, then her and her husband going to sit in jail for the rest of their life. They ain't getting out. I'm just gonna be real. One
But
thing you
if
don't
they
do is in one thing people frown upon in the justice system is child abuse. They throw the book at them, and that's real. They
and if
throw
that's what
the
happened,
book at them.
that's where they need to be. Sorry, I have no mercy for that.
Right.
None. None. Not
So
1 ounce.
you know, and you know what I'm saying. Yes, you can be rehabilitated and get anger management and things like that, but you have to have some kind of uh, punishment or some kind of something to let you realize what you did was not okay. Killing kids are not okay. You can't get that angry that you go overboard and discipline them. You can't go overboard with putting them down and messing with their mental state. You don't understand what you put in your kids can mess with them mentally.
Uh-huh.
So I I just pray that whatever the truth is, it comes out. Stop it.
Yep.
Um, Look, I'm not saying you can't discipline your child because I just discipline mine. But one thing about it though, it's a way to discipline. It's a way to like everyone knows abuse from discipline. Discipline,
Uh-huh.
but when your kids getting black eyes and blue eyes and um they're getting marks all over their body, they're getting blunt, like getting beat upside the head with things. That's not discipline. That's abuse.
Right.
And
It's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Monica.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, discipline is supposed to be like, how do we fix the situation? All right, this happened. How do we move forward? Move forward. You know what I'm saying? We talked about it. It ain't worked. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Now I'm gonna have to, get the paddle or whatever you choose to use. But
Hmm.
see, the person that's doing the disciplinary action must be responsible. Must understand that it's a tool, and it's not to inflict. It's not about inflicting pain.
No, it's
It's
a tool of discipline to let you know what you're doing is not okay. This cannot happen again.
right. So we a lot of parents, and I'm gonna say I was a victim of it as well, but not by my own parents. My
Hmm.
mother, not my father. My father left, so my mother had another boyfriend, and he, you know, disciplined me one time. It hit me really hard, and my head hit like one of them steel radiators, and I was knocked out. My mother would never hit me like that, and when she did hit me, she would explain why
Hmm.
I was getting in trouble, why this was happening,
Hmm.
you know. And if I didn't want to get a whooping anymore, then don't do this. That's what the whooping was for. Now, when I used to make a mess, I didn't get a whooping for that. We have
Right.
to we have to use it as that tool. Now, if
Hmm.
you're stealing, you know what I'm saying, you done went in my purse and you done stole something. If I allow you to do that, you'll go out into the world and somebody will hurt you for that.
Hmm.
So I have to let you know the seriousness of that. And if I don't do that, then I failed you as a parent to let you know that
Right.
it's real out there. You have to understand why we're disciplined. Not just for every little thing. You're making noise. I'm about to beat you. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. And a lot of people don't. A lot of parents nowadays
Hmm.
don't have that ability. It's just one note.
Right. And like me, it takes a lot. With my kids, I don't whoop them a lot. Not for every little thing. Some people feel like I let them get away with too much, but I'm like, I don't want to whoop them from every little thing. You know what I'm saying? I may tap them on their butt if they do something that I know this just need to be addressed right then. But like a belt every now and then, I may pop them with a belt or something like that. I'm gonna be honest, but to just beat them until I can't, till I see blood and whelps, no. Just to let you know what you did is not okay. I'm not a big disciplinary person. Now I do a lot of fussing. I do that, but do they take me halfway serious? Probably not. But I'm being like, I'm not a real big disciplinary when it comes to my kids. I'm not. I fuss a lot. I fuss a lot. I really do. I fuss a lot.
And I think people have to start. You know, that's why the grandparent and the grandfather role is important in the American household. Because if all else is failing, you know, you don't want to give up and give your children to the state. So we have to start utilizing the counseling, our inner circles. We even have to we have to take the time to educate ourselves. Maybe it's something that we're not doing as parents. You know what I'm saying? This way, when something like Cynthia Rhodes does happen, there's records of your parenting skills that shows how you've handled your children. You know what I'm saying? Is that me? My bad.
You say what now?
That was me making that noise. That was my phone.
No, that was my little girl. She on
okay.
watching the video, and you know I don't want it. Is another YouTuber, and I don't want no copyright strike.
Oh, I know that's right. I hear you. Yeah, but what do you think about that, Monica?
Well, what I think about that's true. You know, and you know what I'm saying. My family has been in a similar, or is in a similar situation, and this is my first time like actually talking about it. But we're doing what we can to make sure that the kids know that it's it's not okay, but we're gonna get through it. You're gonna be disciplined, but the overly whooping or whatever, that's not called for. Yes, because let me tell you something. Once the kids get in DHS custody, here in Mississippi, I know for sure they offer the family the opportunity to take custody. Now it's up to the family to get them. It's up to the grandparents. It's up to whomever to want the custody. If they relinquish the custody to someone else, then that's on the family. They're not able to do it. But I feel, because like back in the day, I did get whoopings. My mom, I did get whoopings with stuff that we cannot whoop our kids with now. I did. We did that kind of discipline. That's true. We did get that kind of discipline. Was it okay? I guess if we think about it, no, it was not okay. But that was their way of discipline. But now this is a new day and age, and some people feel like, yeah, we're gonna go back to the old days where you was really getting whoopings with what brooms and all type of different things. They think they don't want to do that now.
I agree, and I give praises to the Lord, the high energy, for making us the children that break the cycle. Because I think at raising my children, one daughter is 19, the other is 12. Between the both of them, I only whooped them one time, and out of that whooping, it was three swings of the belt, and I cried. Me and my youngest daughter cried more than my oldest daughter cried at the time of the whooping. You know what I'm saying? So I say that because we get better from the mistakes. The Lord helped us get better from the mistakes of the people that came before us.
Mhm.
by changing our way of seeing things. Because if you look at the times now, and it's really, 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 really sad. It's really bad. But the children are killing each other. Like I think I seen somebody was talking about
That
a
was me.
12-year-old killing a 8-year-old or a 5-year-old or something like that.
I reported about a couple of days ago about
Yeah,
a 15-year-old girl being stabbed in the chest. They stabbed her in
right,
the heart.
right,
Two 12-year-olds and a 13 and 14-year-old with four girls and a 15-year-old. Their life is forever changed. And they, you know what I'm saying, just all of an instance because someone, an adult, drove them instead of telling them, why are y'all sitting here fighting over a boy? Why are y'all sitting over here picking at a girl? Y'all at Walmart using the weapons, the knives at Walmart. Watch Walmart change what they do with those knives now. Watch Walmart do that. But you use that if you what you did is not okay. And then second of all, your life is forever changed because you have taken someone's life. And then you get on a live and say you don't care about her life. If she died, she died. And then you don't come back and say, oh, I apologize, I don't mean it. And then now you sitting in juvenile detention.
right.
So as parents, we do have to take we do have to take accountability on how we raise our children and how we discipline our children and
Right,
how
because if
we
go
be
ahead,
as
I'm sorry.
go
Because
ahead.
if you show them violence is the way, how do you think they're gonna react?
Right.
I'm not saying you're showing them get the knife and stab somebody, but they're getting plenty of that from TV and music and other sources. But
Mm-hmm.
the initial violent, um, like when they were around it a lot, I can't even give you a word for enough. But that initial um experience of the anger, the violence, and how to lash out, it comes just like the language, just like the habits and stuff like that comes from the parents. Also, that type of thing can be passed along too. You know, so if that's how you're doing, that's how they're gonna react. They're gonna think the way to fix things is through violence.
Right. That's not
Um.
the way. Violence is,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? Then, like having those video games where, they feel as though, picking up a gun, how that like, okay, if you do Call of Duty, you can revive yourself. It's not like that in real life. If you pick up a gun and kill somebody, they ain't gonna come back to life. You're not gonna be able to have a do-over.
Hmm. See, the ball's been put back into the parents' court. As much as people might think the government may have a hold of your child, but at this point, you're letting your child, you're leaving your child to the streets. If you don't assume that role of mother, of father, because it's been relinquished. It's been relinquished back to the parent. Yeah, they might step in and say, "Don't hit them." They got to protect those that can't speak for themselves. But
Mm-hmm.
the actual role, the actual raising, the hands-on is back in the hands of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Has the parents been prepared? I don't think. I think there's a lot of fails. There's a lot of fails. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry to change the topic of what
Oh,
be
you're
going on. I
okay.
just
You're okay. Everything, it all stems from the same thing. Trust
yeah.
me. This is dialogue that needs. So cute, Jayla. Okay. This is our dialogue that needs to be talked about. Like it's all true, even though it may be a different change of a subject, but it's still. Why are you watching now? You know what I'm saying? Abuse is abuse.
Yeah.
Being an example and raising your children right, that's got to be something that needs to be talked about. And kids killing each other for small, it just happened all of a sudden. They got into it and y'all just stabbed her. That's
Right.
crazy to me. Like just an instinct of picking up a knife
Hmm.
can
I mean,
change. Somebody can change your life.
absolutely, absolutely, Monica. I mean, my kids got all my free time if I wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
Once they were born, they got
Right.
all of it. You know what I'm saying? And I did read every day. I did take them off the bus every day. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't financially the best dad in the world, but as far as being there, I
Mm-hmm.
was the best dad in the world to them. Because if they wanted to do my hair, they can do my hair. You know, all my free time went to them, helping with dancing, making
Mm-hmm.
sure they went to their dance classes, homework,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it was. I was there for it because life is precious, and
It is.
it seems to me like even though everybody's living to their age, whatever they say age, whatever, but it seems like it's getting shorter and shorter. Like
Mm-hmm.
the children aren't even childhood ain't even the same thing anymore. And
No, it's
I remember growing up, and I used to say about the Chinese kids like,
children.
oh man, it must suck being Chinese or Japanese because they don't
Mm-hmm.
have a childhood,
You're right.
right? And at least theirs was for educational purposes. The
Right.
children in America, because we this is the melting pot, they're lo-
Mhm.
they're losing their childhood to socialism.
Wow. Wow. And that's sad. And that's sad. Kids want to. That's why I say this is what I don't get. Kids want to grow up so fast. They want to be
Hmm.
grown. They want to do all this cussing and I
Hmm.
want to have sex. Let me tell you something. Like I tell them, when you become grown, you have a whole nother worry. You got to worry about how you
Hmm.
keep a roof over your head. You got to worry about how I'm gonna eat. Mama ain't gonna always be there. Mama ain't gonna always be there to pick you up or feed you. So you have to find
Uh-huh.
your own way.
That's right. I
Like,
I mean I wore Bart Simpson all the way up to middle school. He-Man. I mean, I just loved being a child
mhm.
until my mother said you gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, just I always, if you are a child watching this, you know, stay, be a child, enjoy your childlike life, because when you
Hmm.
become an adult, you have a whole other different problems and whole other situations to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Being an
Oh
adult
yeah.
is not. If you think it's fun game, it ain't, because you have a whole. You think you want to be grown and get out of mama house and do your own thing. Yeah, you gonna do your own thing, all right. But then you gonna be like, man, I shouldn't have been in a rush to grow up, because guess what?
Uh-huh.
Now I got all these problems. Stop, Jamie. So,
So
hey.
I pray for Cynthia Rose and that whole family, right?
Uh huh.
Because I really think there's a hidden truth.
It is,
I
and
just really think it is, and I
we
pray
got
for
to
them.
get
That's
to
all
it.
I can do.
We got to get to it. Like, we don't know when the next day gonna come or anything like that. But I'm gonna stay researching it. I'm gonna give y'all the information that I find. Yes, that's true. ASL and Turban, when 80-year-olds are committed. Yes, because bullying is real. Bullying is real. You need to teach talk to your kids about bullying. That everybody ain't gonna look the same. Everyone ain't gonna dress the same, and everybody can't afford Polo. Everybody can't afford Nike. Everyone can't afford it. Everybody's pockets ain't the same. But that does not, just because of what they outer look like, does not have anything to do with what their inside is like, their character. That will mold you and shape you into the individual that you are, not a look. Nah. And that's what we need to tell our kids. If they are a real friend, be a real friend to someone. Don't
Right.
be bullying people just because they don't have the things you have. If you feel like someone is struggling, this I'm gonna teach my kids. If you feel like somebody is not having something and you want to give it to them, give it to them. And you know what I'm saying? You be like, Mama, I gave what you call my coat because I know I got an extra coat and they really do need a coat. So I gave them my coat. I would be proud of my child for that, because of the simple fact they sympathizing with someone. They're not they're not saying take that to granny. Take it to granny. Take the phone to granny. So yeah, teach your kids about bullying and teach your kids about not about everyone is not going to look the same. Everyone is different. God made us all different, but we all are a human race. That's the way I look at it.
Right. Absolutely. And you know something? I'm glad you said that because even for the young men in every household, right? When you look different, because you don't fully grow to your maturity, into your man into a certain age, to where like you're physically attractive to women. But
Mm-hmm,
before you get to that point, there's a lot of awkwardness, and and I'm not saying bad awkwardness, but maybe your ears might grow before the rest of the body grow. Your feet
mm-hmm,
might be way big, and other kids are picking with you. You know, as a man, it messes with the young children. You know what I'm saying? And with the in the house, which is really really important. Identity is really really important for a young male.
mm-hmm,
Um, he's able to look at his dad, not for the role model, but for the
mm-hmm,
little things like my dad has big ears, and maybe he can say, "Son, you know what? Later on, you're gonna say thank you to your daddy for these big ears."
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The reassurance is definitely
Right.
important between the younger male in the household and the older male in the household. And
Yeah.
like I said, if we touch on a lot of these things as parents,
Mm-hmm,
um, wanting to bully other children will stop, and you know what I'm saying, not speaking up when you're being abused or bullied, because a lot of kids don't speak up and they do commit suicide because they're
mm-hmm,
afraid of what someone might say, or,
mm-hmm.
or or whatever the case may be, they don't speak up. But I in my house where I was raised at, we were taught to speak up. It was
Right.
never made to be a bad thing.
Right. And
It was
that's how I teach my kids. I teach my kids. I say, if someone is bullying you or someone saying something about you, then go to the teacher first. Go to the teacher. And then
uh-huh.
if the teacher don't do nothing about it, tell mommy. And then mommy gonna go up there. And if that don't solve the problem, you handle your business. Oh, you handle your business, and
Uh-huh.
you just deal with the consequences. But my kids, like my little girl, she's a she hasn't lost a lot of her baby weight. So she's a chunkier little girl, and she always comes to me and be like, "Mommy, you know, such and such." She calls me fat. I said, "Baby, you're not fat. You're just chunky and pretty and smart, just like anybody else." She was like, "But Mama, she called you
Mm-hmm.
fat." I said, "Well, Mama's chunky too, and Mama's chunky and pretty and fat. Me, chunky and pretty and smart too. So it
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter." I said, "Guess what? You look just like your mommy, and you are pretty, smart, and funny, just like your mommy." And I said, "You is nothing wrong with you. Just don't never let nobody tell you that something is wrong with you." And
Mm-hmm.
we still have those talks. When someone they kind of make you want to go off because some like why because you picking on my child, but it's just because they have a child. Another child may not have been taught like my child has been taught, like you don't
Right.
insensitive things like that.
Right.
Everybody is different. She may be chunkier, or maybe my baby beauty may bother her. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Word. And a lot of the times when you meet the other parent, because I've been through it a lot,
mm-hmm,
when you meet the other parent of the child that's having the disciplinary action problems or whatever,
mm-hmm,
um, the parent
right,
is shielding itself too. The
uh-huh,
actual parent, it
uh-huh,
has issues as well.
mm-hmm,
So
right,
and you can see that they're overwhelmed, and they have deflection when you're trying to have the conversation as two adults. You're trying to not offend the child, but tell what happened, and then you're gonna get deflection from the parent. Like, no, not
right,
my child.
right. Right. That ain't my child. Like I tell, you know your child. You know what your child do and don't do. Me, if they say my son that has done something that he usually do
Yeah,
at home. Oh yeah, I know he did it, and yes, he's gonna get in trouble for it. Same for
that's
my
right.
daughter. They say my daughter, she in classroom talking and needs to be quiet. I know that she talk a lot. My little girl she's not a normal little 4-year old. She has a lot of questions, and I don't even
Mm-hmm.
understand where the questions come from. But I just tell her, sometimes, Jello, you can't just speak out of turn. You can't just say whatever. You have to scale back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
So you know your child. It just
Mommy.
Right.
you know all about yourself just as well as about your child.
Hmm.
I'm not,
When I
and
went to my littlest daughter's school, the teacher I went in the classroom, and surprisingly, my daughter's desk was at the front, right in front of
Mhm.
the teacher's desk, and she's like, "Well, you know your daughter, and you know why the desk is here, right?" I said, "Absolutely. She will not stop talking once you get her going."
right. You know what I'm saying?
she,
You know your child.
yeah,
You know your
she's
child, so
like,
don't even play like you don't. Like
she
you
said,
know what kind of child you raise. You know how type of child that you have. So don't play like you don't. Like and me, I'm not questioning someone's parenting. I'm not talking about their child. I'm just saying you know how your child is, and this is simple. If we all raised our children, we should know. If you raising your own child, you should know how they are.
Monica. She said I had to explain to Quajane that I have to teach the other 25 students in the class as well. I love you, but I have to teach everybody else too.
Right,
Yo, I knew that was her right away. Right away. She loves attention. Especially she loves the learning and all that good stuff, but she
right.
really loves for you to give her attention.
Right, and this is it. Mostly that's mostly all little girls. As you can see, mine. I've been on this live about an hour, and she's sitting here talking.
Mm-hmm.
See? So,
Mm-hmm.
but but you know, she loves school. She loves her teacher, and same for my son. My son, he's more of a quiet type. He don't really. He go in there and do what he's supposed to do, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's it. But
Yep.
we just need to make sure as parents we do what we need to do to get these kids to a successful level in life. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, my oldest daughter is just like your son. She would go in there. I would literally have to initiate and engage all the time with her because if I didn't, she's fine with that, and that's
Hmm.
not that is more than life than that.
Right,
I always wanted to make sure that she knew how to. If you want to be humble and reserved, that's fine, but you also need to know how to express yourself
right.
because
That's true.
just people aren't going to do it for you, and they will take advantage of that.
Yes, they will. And we just let me tell you this world full of people. We just have to we have to
Hmm.
be watchful. And we have to be watchful. We have to be
Yep.
watchful because some people intentions, we have to teach our kids. Some people intentions aren't pure, and we have to teach our kids as well. Everybody ain't your friend, and that's a harsh reality. As adults, we still face. Everybody ain't your
Hmm.
friend. If people gonna do things to you that you haven't done anything to them, but they do something to you that's not right. And you have to teach your kids, to forgive them anyway and just go ahead on, and not try to get into their back and forth, you know.
Uh huh.
Well, thank you so much again, Chef Disaster, for coming. I'm about to get out of here. Thank you so much for coming on here and just talking and giving your opinion and all this on. We just had a great dialogue. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you for having me. I'm here. So when I see you live and I'm not working, I'm coming through.
Same here.
Confidently.
Like same here. Like I appreciate you for coming. Like I can't. I know. Are you going live tonight?
No. I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was gonna go tonight, but I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Okay. What time tomorrow you going live?
Probably like 9 o'clock
Eastern time or Central?
Eastern time. Yeah, Eastern time.
Okay. Well, I'll be in your live, guys. Make sure you guys check out Chef Disaster 2.0. He does a lot of relationship topics, don't
Um, it's me. I was in a 15-year relationship, and it
you?
ended. It ended. In kind of in the red. Like nothing abuse, nothing like that. I just lost my whole family. Just basically, she just up and moved and didn't tell me.
What?
Yes, I would say after 18 years, it's been going on 5, 6 years since I last seen him.
Your kids?
So yeah, my kids. I
Wow.
talked to him on video chat, and over the phone. I've never cheated on her. I just think, we were together, you know, since high school and all of that, and
Y'all
you
grew
know,
apart?
I don't even know because I moved down south. We talked about having our kids go to a HBCU, and
Mhm.
down south is they have great programs. They have um different ways for kids to go about getting an education better than up north up here.
Mhm.
So I went down there, found a job, got a place to stay, and she was supposed to come down after. And we had like this program called Section 8 where, we pay some of the rent and then they save that money and give you that money to buy a house.
Right.
So she was supposed to come down and we were supposed to do that whole thing, but she did the opposite and she took the money plus the income tax and everything else and the kids and, just left and moved to another state.
Well, I'm
So
sorry.
yeah. So I've been, I went through my depression. I went through all of that, just that and the third. I'm in a better place now. I
Okay.
speak to my kids more.
You're back in
I'm
New
more
York?
involved. Huh?
You're back in New York, or are you still down
Yeah,
south?
I came back to New York because my sister passed away and she was staying with my
Oh,
mom's. So I
oh,
came to be supportive here, supportive role.
okay.
That's why I moved back. So I was there for 5 years in North Carolina,
Mhm.
and I felt like I needed to move on. I needed to move on with my life. So it's called Surviving Love, and I talk about going on dates and trying to find the right person for me since I have that opportunity. So I've
Mhm.
been on a few dates, I've been in a few relationships, and I just have you know a lot of experiences that I just share. Like some of it happens, some of the content comes after maybe I've been on a date or called it off with somebody I've been dating, trying to get to that point, trying to find that soulmate. You know what I mean? So I guess you can say it's about relationship, but it's
Mhm.
about mine personally, and people can give their experiences, or they can talk about, or they can even give me advice. I like getting advice. Yeah. So I guess you can say relationships, but yeah, I'm basically just talking about mine. I'm giving my perspective as a king, on how young men should carry themselves, and things like that if they want to have a queen in their life, stuff like that. Just giving my experiences.
Okay. Well, check out Chef Disaster, y'all. Let me let me put your link in the chat so they'll know who you are. Make sure you guys check out Chef Disaster 2.0. He is a great guy and give him some love and support. And I'm about to get out of here, guys. Make sure if you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Y'all have a wonderful night, and you have a wonderful night as well, Chef Disaster. Okay?
You too, Monica. Peace and love, spread love, not hate.
All right. Have a good night.